KVAL, Tom Ward, has been here with the Ducks since Saturday.
That's right. We got here from the beginning, the Disneyland arrival. Today, all the talk centered around Jeremiah Masoli and those ball fakes, those clever ball fakes he does when he runs the Oregon offense, where sometimes even the TV cameras don't know where that ball is. We talked to members of that Silver Bullet defense from Ohio State, asked them how they plan to stop that, how they plan to even find out where the ball is. We'll have that coming up later in sports. Also, we caught up with a former Duck from the past, a very popular Duck. Michael Fletcher was at Oregon practice this week. We'll have that coming up later in sports. For now, we'll wrap it up from the Rose Bowl in Pasadena, California. I'm Tom Ward. Let's send it back to you in the studio.
Well, look who's here. Former KVAL Sports Director Tom Ward joining us live from Phoenix, Arizona. I'm kind of getting emotional. You're my buddy. How are you doing?
Doing great, Jodi. Thanks so much for having me on. And, it's like old times listening to the snow on the hill, and the live shot buddy is, out running the roads on I-5 and providing all these live shots. It's just like old times.
It really is. We had so much fun. And of course, you worked here from 1998 to 2015, and you were the sports director for 10 years of these 17 years. What are some of your fondest memories?
Well, one of them was right there, going to the Rose Bowl. That was something that Oregon fans had been waiting for years. And to be able to go and be there from start to finish and cover it was really a dream come true. I'd been the sports director at that point for just under 5 years, and so to go there and look and see this footage right now with David, as we all know, David's passed away, and what a loss that was for KVAL. But just a great experience. That was definitely up there on the list. And then national championship in 2015. Lots of NCAA tournament runs, all those kinds of things were just great experiences.
Well, you even went to Scotland while you were here. That is pretty amazing. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so I had that Wide World of Golf series and been doing it for years. And I was a member of a media golf association in the Pacific Northwest at the time. And they said, hey, is there any chance you can be on assignment and go to Scotland? And so yeah, went to Scotland and produced a few different pieces from, the old course all the way up to Royal Dornoch, one of the oldest golf courses in the world. And David got a real kick out of that too, because he was a big golfer as well. So we had a lot of fun with that.
Well, no, you spent 17 years here. That's a long time, Tom. And so you're really a big part of our legacy, looking back, and lots of sports. And one of the big ones was the original Inside the Pac here on KVAL, and that aired for 17 years. Tell us about that.
Yeah, we started that in 2000. We didn't have the coaches show anymore, and we decided, Todd McKim, the former sports director that preceded me, we overlapped for about 7 years, and we sat around and said, we need to figure out a way to sort of keep our sports department viable, and that's what we did. And man, let me tell you, every time I go back to Eugene, or even one time I was in Corvallis not long ago, someone came up to me and said, "Oh my gosh, used to love Inside the Pac. I get asked about it all the time." It was, and really what made it special was the former players. Having those guys on every week, they brought an extra dimension to that show.
You did such a great job. And of course, I've always referred to you as my bratty little brother, and I was your bratty sister. We had this little fun lingo we had, but back in the days. But so what else can you talk about? Now, looking back, and of course, you're watching now, you're down in Phoenix now, you're working in cybersecurity and doing well with that, working from home. He says he loves it. You don't have to come up the 1,300 feet, Blanton Heights, in the morning. So what else can you tell us? What are you doing?
I work for a company that provides cybersecurity resources for large enterprise companies and the like. When I left Eugene, I went to Portland. I was there for 5 years and worked at a company that produced cybersecurity events. So I worked in that capacity, building cyber events and building agendas for cyber leaders. And we're talking about the biggest companies, household names, manufacturing, insurance, retail. All across North America and beyond. So now that led to what I'm doing now, which was a great, sort of transition from going from television to the 7 years that I worked for, Evanta, and then now working for the Cybersecurity Collaborative.
That's the thing, is you really do love sports. Look at all the sports memorabilia behind him. And I know when you lived in Eugene, you had a whole room dedicated to the Blazers. So you still are a serious sports fan, right?
I like to think of myself now as like a, kind of an artifact collector or a museum curator, because all the things that I have are like 30 years old now. So it's fun when people come over and they see it, they're just like kind of blown away. Like, where did you get all this stuff? Well, you don't get it overnight, right? You collect a little bit here and a little bit there. And, you mentioned Scotland. A lot of those golf balls there over my shoulder are from Scotland as well.
Okay, you're still playing golf, of course, down in Phoenix.
I'm playing
now.
later today, actually. I actually
Nice.
don't play as much as I used to.
Really?
When I was in Eugene, I had a great schedule coming at 2 o'clock. So that meant I could get up and tee off at 7:30 or 8 out at Emerald Valley, and then come home, take a shower, and go on up to Blanton Heights and do my normal thing, provided there was no breaking news.
I love it. Well, it's so good to see you, Tom. And as we said, you are a huge part of our legacy here at KVAL. We're celebrating 70 years. And thank you for all you've done for our station. It's so good to see you. We'll talk later. All right, you go golfing. Have a good day. All right.
That sounds good, Jodi. Thanks for having me on.
Anytime. All right.